Here we go. Two of our experts are about to do battle in a debate over the latest in sports. This is Butting Heads. Today we have Rich Davis of SiriusXM Radio going head-to-head again with Ross the Boss, picking NFL games for Week 17. See who won last week's matchups and check out their picks for this week. If you're new to our channel, click subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Put your comments below. Are you Team Ross or Team Rich? Okay, guys, we've got Rich and Ross against each other again. Do you guys know what happened last week? Ross came back and did win. He won 2-1. By my count, he just bested you, Rich. It was close, but he did come back. Do you guys have any commentary on what happened?
I mean, the Steeler game was unbelievable. I mean, Indy was up by like 20 points, and I turned the game off. And all of a sudden, the Steelers came back and won the game. And that kind of decided the week for me.
It turned the whole thing.
I mean, that was the whole thing.
It turned the whole thing.
But we also agreed on Buffalo, who won. Rich and I both had that.
Yeah.
And we agreed on some other games, too, that won. But overall, it was a predictable week. I felt the week went pretty well. There weren't any huge upsets.
Oh, I was going to say, Ross, that Indianapolis Steelers game, Indianapolis played themselves out of the playoffs possibly with that second half. That second half of football might be the reason why they don't make the postseason. They could win on Sunday and be 11-5 and miss the postseason.
And that's why we might see Carson Wentz as a Colt next season, too. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
This is a great segue into our first game of the week because it's Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Now, as a Cleveland fan, as you know, I was watching that game with great interest because last week was a disaster. Disaster in so many ways. The only good thing that happened was that Pittsburgh won. That's how bad it was as a Cleveland fan. So now we've got Pittsburgh at Cleveland. The Browns are favored by 9. Now we all know why they're favored by 9. It's because Mason Rudolph will be starting. So I want to know, who do you guys have? Rich, you can defer or take right now.
Oh, by 9? Listen, I'm still uncertain about COVID testing and the Cleveland Browns. More guys were shut down. They're hoping to have those 4 wide receivers back. Last week, Baker Mayfield got a taste of what it would be like if he didn't have an offensive line and wide receivers. Welcome to the world of Sam Darnold and other young quarterbacks that have nothing, right?
Yep.
I don't like the 9 points. 9 points is a lot. Mason Rudolph could, just control the game enough to keep it within 10, let alone win the game. So I think take Pittsburgh plus 9. I think Cleveland wins the game and makes the playoffs, but plus 9 is a lot. If it was like 4.5, I'd say that's a better spread. This is a little crazy.
I agree with Rich. It's going to be a field goal game either way. I don't know who's going to win, but the 9 points is a gift. You bet a lot of money on Pittsburgh. I'll take the 9 points plus Pittsburgh, and I think the game will go under also.
And to back up what Ross is saying, that's a lot of points. And Dan, I know you're a big Cleveland fan. That game burned me so much last week because I loaded up on Cleveland big time. And, I wasn't paying attention the day before, the night of, all the COVID wide receivers were out. It's tricky because you don't know exactly who's going to be on the field for the Browns on Sunday. None of those guys are guaranteed. And there's the facility was shut down a second day in a row now. So who knows, right?
Yeah, definitely. But you got a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be a Browns fan. Just, it's like, oh my God, how many ways can the Browns find to lose? They're very inventive.
And by the way, it's the first time. One last quick note. It's the first and only time this year, really, that COVID may have messed with the outcome of the NFL season. Maybe one game here or there, Cam Newton didn't start, but New England wasn't going anywhere. This was the first time where COVID absolutely determined like a possible playoff fate.
I totally agree. And really interestingly, Adam Gase gets fired after 2 wins. I mean,
yeah,
the Jets can't even get firing right. I mean, I agree with their decision to fire him, but the timing was kind of weird. All right, we've got Ravens at Ross's Bengals. We've got the Ravens favored by 12.5. They need to win to get in. I think they can get it. Do they control their own destiny?
Yeah.
They do, but Baltimore is playing great right now.
That's what I thought.
They're the Baltimore I thought that was going to be the beginning of the season. I think they're letting Jackson run around being mobile again. He's not that pocket quarterback. They figured out that the hard way when they lost a bunch of games in a row. I think Baltimore's back on track. Cincinnati, they're starting their second, third string quarterback. I don't even know who's starting this week. I think it's Finley. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't matter. and Mixon's out. They have Bernard going. I feel this game's going to be a blowout. It doesn't matter if the Bengals are at home. Who cares? They're at home. They won 2 in a row, though. The Bengals won 2 in a row, and Baltimore's won 4 in a row. So I'll go with the hot team, Baltimore. I'll take Baltimore. I'll give the 12 points.
I hate to agree with the boss because a lot of times that makes me feel bad. But he's right. Baltimore blowout win here. It's a blowout win. Think about it this way. You're talking about a team that looks better than they've looked all year versus a team that has nothing to play for with a third-string quarterback, like you said, Ross. This has like 20 points. This has like 31-10 written all over it or something like that.
It really does. And home field, they have like 10,000 fans there. And I bet half the fans will be Baltimore fans anyway, so does it matter?
Yeah.
No.
And the reality is Baltimore is a team you do not want to play in the playoffs. They really are not. Like,
I
this
agree
is a team
100%.
they're peaking at the right time. Like, I could see them making it pretty far in the AFC playoff picture.
I agree. Dangerous.
I think they can go the whole way. When a team catches fire at this time of year, it's a lot. And you know, of course, it happened against the Browns, of course.
Yep.
So now we've got Arizona at the Rams. We've got Arizona favored by 3.5. I think this is a tough game to call. Rich, would you like to start us off, or would you like to defer?
I am going to start us off. Now, it's Rams by 3, you say?
It is Arizona by 3.5.
Oh, Arizona by 3.5? You know why? The Rams, I don't know why that is, because the Rams need to win, right? Because if the Rams, if I'm right here, if the Rams lose and Chicago beats Green Bay, the Rams are out, right? So I don't know why people are making it seem like, oh, the Rams aren't going to be playing at full force. We're assuming Green Bay is playing at full capacity because they need that 1 seed, right? But you can't take your foot off the gas. I love the Rams winning the game. Take the points all day. I think Arizona's a mess. If my 49ers were healthy, Arizona wouldn't even be a thought in the playoffs.
Love the confidence. The Niners will be back. Ross, what do you think?
Whoa. I'm taking the Cardinals because Goff is not playing. They're starting their second-string quarterback, the Rams. The Arizona defense is going to tee off on that. The Rams running game has been very sporadic the whole year. I feel the Arizona team, Drake and Murray and Hopkins, there's a lot of weapons. Fitzgerald, there's a lot of weapons here. I feel Arizona's going to win the game. And again, home field means nothing in this stuff. It doesn't matter. There's no one there.
Hold on. I got to make something very clear. By the way, I have no furniture, not because I lost it in a parlay bet or something. I have no furniture because I'm moving, so I must have missed something. The Rams are not a lock, right? Are we just all assuming that Green Bay beats Chicago and that means Chicago's out, and if Arizona wins, and the Rams are in, why are we? I don't know why we're assuming that the Rams are an automatic. If Chicago wins and Arizona wins, Rams are out, right?
You're correct, sir. You're correct. So I'm taking Arizona. I feel they'll beat the Rams pretty well because the Rams' offense is just going to be stagnant. On Sunday.
But Rich does make a very compelling point. I mean, the Rams have a lot to play for.
Yeah,
so,
they have, absolutely. If they don't win, they're banking on Green Bay, which should beat Chicago. But they're banking on Green Bay to win, or they're out. It's crazy.
Now, I also just want to highlight one thing. There are a couple of teams that you guys seem to always disagree on. The Rams are one of them. The Colts are another, and the Bears are another. Usually because Rich just takes like a dare, and he's won with it. So we're gonna get to them next. We've got Green Bay at Chicago. Green Bay favored by 5.5. Does Chicago get this done? Ross, you get to go first this time.
So I heard Jim McMahon, the Bears quarterback from the 80s, say the best quarterback.
By the way, did you get those sunglasses from Jim McMahon?
That's good. No, I got them. No, these are Ross the Boss. You can buy these on my website. But that all being said, Jim McMahon said the best quarterback
Did you get the mullet from Jim McMahon?
It's not a mullet. Well, I haven't got a haircut now. But that all being said, Jim McMahon actually said this, that Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback the Bears ever had in their history. That's what he said by stats and all that. I mean, he was like saying Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback the Bears have ever had. The Bears have been playing better football. They lost like 5 games in a row. They're back in business. They're playing well. Their running game's moving with Montgomery. They're at home against Green Bay. But as you know, I love Green Bay. Ross the Boss is going to stay on that bandwagon. I'm taking Green Bay. It's a must game. Aaron Rodgers has been money all year. Anytime he's in the spotlight, he'll be in the spotlight. I take Green Bay. So I'll give the 5.5. You take Chicago if you like it. Go ahead.
You know what, boss? I will take Chicago. Not that they're going to win the game.
I knew it.
Not that they're going to win the game. but because this reeks. You smell that, Ross? No, it's not.
It does.
Brisket
It does.
cooking in the back. It's a backdoor cover.
I'm not
this
disagreeing.
This is a game that all game long, it's like Green Bay's in control, and Chicago has like a fourth quarter ditch effort to make the playoffs. And, maybe they lose by 4 or they get within a field goal, onside kick, and you're like, oh my God, it's not really close, but the score is like a 4-point. I'll take Chicago covering.
This is great. I mean, every time we bring up the Bears, this happens. Yep. I love this with you guys. Now, I also did want to just say briefly, to say Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback in Bears history, it's kind of like saying this is the best pimento bologna I've ever had.
Well, there's Cutler, there's McMahon,
no offense to Trubisky. And Trubisky's
Yeah.
from Cleveland, by the way. So I like him, but he's just hard to, but I had to say that.
And no offense to bologna either.
No offense to bologna, but definitely offense to pimento.
Dan, when was the last time you had a bologna sandwich? I'm going to say mine was maybe in the 90s.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. And I'm going to admit this. I'm going to admit this to everyone involved. I actually like bologna. It's good. I mean, it's a little bit gross. If you want to bother somebody, you could just put a piece of bologna on someone's face, and it would be really disgusting. But eating it is a different thing. Now,
by the way,
speaking of things,
that's our playoff bet. Week 1, wild card weekend. Whoever gets more games wrong has to have bologna on their face in the next episode. Ross, you in?
I'm in.
Do I get to join?
You get to join too, Dan. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to join.
Bologna face.
Now, speaking of bologna face, we're going to move to the NFC East. We've got Washington at Philadelphia, game with playoff implications. Washington favored by 1.5. So, tough game to call. This is the bologna bowl. So, Rich, you get to decide whether to defer or receive.
I will take the Philadelphia Eagles only because it just makes it all the more fun to say, oh, look, the Eagles won. What are they going to do with Jalen Hurts? Where's Carson Wentz going to go? Ross said earlier, Indianapolis next year. I just like the drama of the Eagles winning. And then we're probably going to get to it, but Dallas winning. And then after all of this, Dallas makes the playoffs. Like I said from day one. So I'm going to, at what, 6-10? Is it 6-10 or will it be 7-9? I think 7-9. 7-9 will win the division with the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, so I'm going to go Eagles win this game just for the fun of it. It's a meaningless game. I mean, Washington, it would have been nice. It would have been a nice Alex Smith story, but that's not happening.
And Ross, do you agree?
So the team of Washington, they have Gibson coming back, their running back, who's having a great year. He's back in business. Alex Smith is going to be their starting quarterback. Their defense is a top 5 defense in the NFL. Their defense is playing great. Their road record's not bad. The team of Washington, they're I think they're like one game below 500, which isn't bad for that division. But I'm taking Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been proving, he wants to prove to the world that he's a starting quarterback. He's going to be running, he's going to be throwing, he's going to be doing everything he can to win that game. I feel he's the factor here. He's the X factor, and I feel he'll win that game for them by more than one. He'll win the game by 6 points at least. You take the Eagles. You bet the money line. You bet the over. I love that game for the Eagles. I'm Ross the Boss.
All right. Well, I'm going to write this all down. Oh, you've got to say what you think.
There's only 2 games we disagree on.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, it's the Rams and the Bears. It's almost always the same teams with
Cardinals
you guys.
and Rams, yeah.
I'm going to keep track of this. We're going to see how it goes. For the fans out there, please put comments as to whether you are Team Ross or Team Rich. And let us know if there are games we didn't cover, too. Of course, you won't have much choice next week because we're covering the playoffs. Good luck to you guys. We'll see who wins. Thanks for coming on, Rich.
Lying with a blanket over my head, she asked if she could see who was under the blanket with me. I said, you don't want to find it is Hideki Matsui in my